Hello, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to show you this cute Christmas card I made over the weekend. I just love how this turned out. I was pretty happy with it when I got done with it. Show you how to make the snow on it. Kind of made the tree a little 3D, but it's not too fat to go into a envelope if you want to mail it. And also the glittery trees behind it. And what I used was the Winter Woods bundle from the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. Here's the stamp set called Winter Woods, and I love all the images in this, but all I used today was the Thinking of You This Season stamp. And I'm going to show you quick a card, show you the versatility of this set. It can also make fall projects, not just winter and Christmas. So I used the tree line stamp in the set, inked it up with soft suede, and then took my Cajun Craze and Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Right markers, took the brush tip and just kind of thumped on the stamp, and then stamped it on the paper. So that gave it the look of having different colored leaves on it. I just thought that looked pretty cool, so I want to show that to you. And this is bundled with an In the Woods die set. And I'm going to be using these two trees for the glittery trees behind, and these two for the pine tree in the front. So as you can see with this stamp, it makes it so there are little branches that can be folded out. And you'll see what I mean here in a minute. So first we'll go ahead and put the base of the card together. This is a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. It's 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to fold it in half here. Lost my bone folder. Here's one. So I'll go ahead and crease this. So I want to get a nice, super crisp fold on that. Then I'm going to bring in, this is from the Festive Farmhouse Designer Series paper in the Holiday Catalog also. This one is 5 1/4 by 4, and I took the shiplap design in the same paper, and this is 5 1/4 by 2. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and put some SNAIL adhesive on this, and the shiplap will go here at the bottom. Everybody loves shiplap. Okay, looks like I cut a little too wide, but that's all right. And now we'll go ahead and put this directly onto the card base. Put it right there in the center. Okay, now the card base is ready. So that, because we'll need this here in a little bit to start adding some things to it. Okay, now these are the two pine tree dies that I just showed you that I was going to use. As you can see, like I said, there are branches here. I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of push all of them. Kind of put your thumb there at the base of the branch, and then take your finger on your index finger on your other hand and kind of fold it up. So go up pretty quick. So I take my middle finger here too and kind of push them up a little bit, because sometimes it's hard to get a hold of them. And you need to be careful when you get to the top, because you don't. This is getting real narrow and it's a little hard to. You don't want to get it too folded, because then you might end up ripping off the top. There we go with that. And now to do the pretty snowflakes on top, I'm going to take this little grid paper. This is actually going to be grid paper that you can purchase starting October 1st. I'll tell you more about that later. It fits exactly into the Stamparatus, which is really nice. I'm going to take the Shimmery White embossing paste from the annual catalog. And then we also have palette knives in the annual catalog, but this is the one I'm going to be using. And you can see how shimmery this is. I love the look of this. And actually, it's kind of easier to do it from the back, the flat side, and just kind of paint it onto the branches. If it's a little too thick, you just scrape a little off and just keep adding. Get a little more. Just keep adding until it's all of the branches are covered. It does take a few minutes to dry, but only a few minutes. By the time you get the card made, it'll be ready. So you just keep doing that. And so you don't have to sit there and watch me do the whole thing. I've got one that's already done. So go ahead and close this up. And this can be washed even when it dries. You can still get the paste off, so I don't need to worry about that drying right now. But this is all dry. Bring the framelit back in. And I used mini Stampin' Dimensionals, which I thought I had out, but I don't see them, so I'll grab another pack. But I've got my supplies next to me. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over, and there are a few places that I can put this so you can't see it from the other side. So I'm going to put a little bit right here. It kind of got over a little too far for me. I wanted it more in the center. That's better, because I don't want these to be seen on the other side. So I'll kind of put one right here. Because when these are folded, they're not folded too terribly much. It's okay if you get it on the flap just a little bit. But you definitely want to use the mini ones, because the big ones are a little too big for that. There we go. You can tell the minis are almost getting too big. So there, that should be enough there. I'll remove the paper backing on these. And one thing I didn't realize until I made this card, the framelit die for the pine tree, this one right here, is actually larger than this one. So I really like that, because it makes it even more three-dimensional. So you kind of want to line the top of the tree up here and center it down here. So now we've got the branches here that are up higher than the ones back here. So I really like how it's a little bigger. So there's the tree done. Put that to the side. Now I'm going to show you how to die cut these trees here, having the multi-purpose adhesive sheets that we sell. The trick with this, you want to put the adhesive sheet on the cardstock before you die cut. So this is a piece of 3 by 3.5 sparkle glimmer paper, and I use the same size of adhesive sheet, which is a 3 by 3.5. You are going to remove the backing that has the lettering first. So you just kind of peel this away. I started it off a little bit before I start the video. Turn the glimmer paper over, and then just line this right on top, sticky side down. And now I've got the paper backing here on the back. So that's ready to go. I'm going to bring my big shot in. I'm going to warn you, it might start moving everything around, so it might jiggle on us, but it'll work. What I am using is the big shot platform, the thin die adapter, a standard cutting pad. I'm going to put the paper down. Now I'm going to grab both of these dies. These are the exact dies, but it makes it so you can die cut more than one at a time, which I love. They knew we'd probably want to do at least 2 of these. Put those down, and then put another standard cutting pad on top of that. And then we put it through the big shot. Try to get this done so it doesn't move too much. You can tell it's already moving there we go. And I'm going to make it go through one more time. What I've learned is it doesn't really go through the backing very well. So let me get this out of the way. Show you a trick I learned. These can actually just be peeled off while they're still inside the paper, and it almost makes it a little easier. So part of the backing did come off, but when you get up to this part, it doesn't come off as easy. So I'll just start peeling these away. As you can see, it's coming off the backing. So much easier doing it this way than trying to get the backing to cut too. I tried both ways and it was a little harder. Now, the one thing you have to be careful of, some of the cuts here kind of go really deep inside here, so that way I had a little trouble getting that out. And you just take the little pieces out that you don't need, and it's ready to go. So you don't have to wait for me to take the other one off. I've got another one here with me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this card down, lay the tree down where I want it. Boy, that stuff's sticky. It's sticking to my fingers. Okay, I know I want the tree about there. So I'm going to lift it up and then lay this down. See there, now I know that's where I want that one. Now I'm going to take another one. This one's got the sticky on it. Lift it up and kind of put it back there too and figure out where I want it. And that looks pretty good. Now I can just push that down. So see, those adhesive strips went on so well. Everything is on snug. I don't have to worry about it falling off. So now I'm going to go ahead and put some snail on the back of this tree. I didn't want to use any more dimensional since I've already got this top part raised. That way it can still go in an envelope if you want to mail it. Put that down. Now I'm going to take a piece of 3" by 1 3/4 Whisper White. I'm going to take my Tuxedo Black Memento pad. Ink this up real well. I'm going to stamp this over to the right a little bit, and you'll understand why here in a minute. Okay, now I'm going to bring my everyday label punch out. And just so I had more to hold on to when I put it in the punch, that's why I put it over to the right a little bit. Now I can put it in here and center it. Hopefully I'm doing it pretty good because I got to do it at an angle. Okay, punch it out. It's ready to go, except I wanted to have a little more color to it, so I'm going to take a sponge dauber and get some cherry cobbler ink and just kind of get that. I got that a little too juicy, but that's okay. It still looks good. It'll lighten up a little bit. As you can see, I've already got, I had plenty of ink. I didn't have to get any more added to it. And since I already have the mini dimensionals out, I'm going to go ahead and use them again. You can use the regular sized dimensionals on this, but I didn't want to get both packs out. Take the backing off of this. Okay. And put him right there. And then the last little touch, take a 6-inch piece. This is from the Festive Farmhouse cotton twine that's in the catalog. It also comes in the green and I think very vanilla. I forgot to look that up. But when I do a bow, you kind of want to start, I'm right-handed. You might do opposite if you're left-handed. But go to the end, the left end, and make a little loop. So I've still got all of this here. Actually, I might even want to come down a little more. The reason you want more here is because this is what's going to wrap around your finger. So you need it to be a little bit longer. Do your bow. I'm being brave here doing this in the video. I should have done these beforehand, but I wanted to show you how I made them. Now I can kind of play around with it. Make this one a little bigger. And this loop I want smaller, so I'll just start pushing it down here. Get it from being twisted. There we go. But this one keeps wanting to twist. Well, we can fix that once we put it down. Okay, now I'm going to take my mini glue dots, put one on the back, and since it's the glue dot's a little bigger than my knot, I'm going to kind of smush it down a little bit in the back. Then put my bow right here on my label. See, now it's laying a little flatter because it's got the cardstock behind it. Now that it's on, I find it easier to trim my ends so they're even. And that's it. See, it really didn't take too long looking at it. It looks like it would take a long time. Well, that's it. I hope you had fun watching this video. In the description of the video below, I'm going to put all the dimensions of the paper I used and all the products so you know the supplies I used. I also have links to my Facebook page, my Pinterest page, and my blog. If you want to place an order with me, just go to my www.createwithchristy.com site and click Shop Now. I also have everything on the credits at the end of this video. If you don't have a demonstrator that you shop with, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I love to help people with their creativity and making projects. It's just so much fun. Well, I'll see you soon.